43 hours have passed since Isaac's spell spoke through Beetle and informed our brothers that he was in trouble. Those hours have been filled with more adventure than they were expecting, being as they haven't even left Lifefall yet. A posted job in the shell hopper led them to Dr. Lau, a troubled artificer who accidentally created a monstrosity that needed killing. There they met Juno, a rogue on the run from the Circle of the Skull because she refused to kill Miss Hennessy. This led the brothers back to Miss Hennessy, who sent them back out in order to beat the Circle of the Skull to the Shrine of Dabamat. After uncovering a mysterious but beautiful golden circlet within the abandoned church, our brothers took a well-deserved long rest back at the museum. There we met Gray, a ghostly figure that lives within an item Will holds on his person. The next morning, our brothers split up. Z dropping Miss Hennessy off at the Haven, Ellis encountering his unnaturally attractive arch-nemesis Wheeler Aldrin, and Will trading the vast majority of his historical artifacts in exchange for a yet-to-be-named rapier. After meeting back up together, Juno declared that Dr. Lau's office had been burned to the ground. But unfortunately for him, our brothers have more important things to attend to than check on Dr. Lau. Brothers, we are just outside the hideout of the bandits that stole Buck's dog. Will, you and Juno have already scattered ahead and are confident that you were able to see them without them seeing you. Their hideout is more of a series of tents than any sort of structure. You counted 12 bandits in total, all of them humans. In the dead center of camp, they have several cages filled with various types of animals. Based on this, their clothing, and equipment, Juno was able to infer that these animals are poachers from Elfos. Because of the location of Elfos, there are hardly any animals native to it. So poachers like these will come to bigger land masses like Learia to hunt animals down and take them back to be sold to those on Elfos who can afford it. The animals then typically live very sad and short lives away from their natural habitat, resulting in them quickly becoming either a trophy, clothing, or both. After casing the hideout, Will, you and Juno make your way back out to where Z and Ellis are waiting to make your final plan of attack.
Guys, it's looking like it's going to be 4 versus 12. I think we can take them, but we should probably try and get the jump on them. And I had an idea. We're not going to lose it if we win. So why don't we I sneak up there and I throw a loose bag of a good bit of gold just into the center of the area.
Okay. Yeah.
It spills open, spills all the gold everywhere.
Okay.
There they come, start looking at it and go, what's this? What's that? And gold. And then Ellis, you just throw that fireball of yours at them. And then Z runs in. And then we just fight. We just fight really, really hard and really fast.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about that?
See, I want to say, tactically, great plan. Wonderful plan. I dig that. Morally, I don't know if I want to kill these guys. And just kind of because they're poachers, which sucks. Obviously that sucks. But it doesn't feel morally correct for me to just blow them up.
You overhear, the camp is fairly nearby. You hear one of them just like laughing and says, "Did you hear the sound it made when I kicked it?"
We can nuke these fools.
And the other one was like, "It was like."
All of our druid instincts kick in.
Yeah, I'm like, they're hurting a pure creature. They deserve to die. That's
They're taking amusement in a creature that did nothing suffering.
I'm really, and Ellis like turns to everybody. He goes, "I'm really glad I overheard that, because this fight would have been really difficult, because I was gonna try and like not use my most powerful spells, but now that I've heard that, like sky's the limit." Because like now I feel no moral quandaries with just nuking these fools. You know what I'm saying?
Are we gonna try and like kill these guys, or just like kick their butt? Because like they're obviously poachers, bad people. We don't like them. Like I have no problem with fighting them at this point. But like, are we trying to take them out completely? A life is still a life.
I don't know, because I agree, Z. I don't want to just kill these guys, but also they're kicking a puppy, so I also really want to kill these guys. So I'm in a state where, and Ellis just puts his hands on Z's shoulder and on Will's shoulder, and he goes, "I'm with you guys."
Let's just take them down, and if we can spare them, we will. And if not, they brought this upon themselves.
Sounds good.
Juno speaks up like, "Are we gonna try to sneak up on them?"
Holy crap, you're here! What? Oh my god, dude!
Juno, I was
jeez,
sorry,
you can't do that.
I do. Sorry, that
can't
happens
do that.
a lot with me.
Oh,
I was thinking, me and you, Juno, we would sneak up on them, and then Z would go in, guns blazing. If you're cool with that, Z, and then me and you would like jump out and be like, "Oh, surprise!" And you'd shoot him, and I'd stab him.
So Z can kind of hang out outside and wait to come in. That way he doesn't. No offense, Z, but you don't seem like the stealthing type. So,
Well, I find that extremely rude. I find myself very lithe and quick on my feet.
I really hope you're being sarcastic right now. 'Cause-
Z currently looming over her by like a good 1.5 feet, just like looking down.
I'm just gonna move on.
yeah, and I'll stay out here. And then you guys just give me the signal when you need a like it like just yell like break the Geneva Conventions, and I'll know that that's my time to just take them down.
That's kind of a long signal. I do like that. How do you just feel about Panama? Do you just
I like Panama. I'm
Okay,
also
Panama.
the thing is, I'll know what you mean today, but the Panama is a different move, than just like
it
hurling
is.
over a fireball. So, I mean, we could say war crimes, and that could work.
Okay, let's just go with war crimes.
But I like Panama though.
Oh, just tell
let's do
me.
Panama?
So, Will, you and Juno are gonna go ahead and sneak in?
Yeah.
So, Ellis, you and Z, get ready. Ellis, are you gonna go ahead and cast any spells on him? I'm not gonna like pay attention to the time really as much. Like, if you want to buff him up at all, now is the time.
Oh,
Or yourself, whatever you want to do.
okay, cool. Then I'll go ahead and use enlarge on him, so I don't have to use my first turn doing that.
Okay, sweet. Z, do you want to do anything before your first turn?
Like, it doesn't make sense to rage before combat, but just like hold that so I can just like start the fight doing stuff and not have to waste a bonus action on that.
Okay, cool. You can pick which aspect here in a minute. But we'll go ahead and you're like primed and ready to go.
Sure am. So primed.
Will, you and Juno make your way to the edge of the hideout? There's like this conveniently placed like cropping of boulders that you guys are able to kind of like crawl up on top of and are looking out over sort of surveying the area, you can see these poachers. They're all wearing animal pelts as clothing. One of them has like a baby seal boots. One of them has it is very clearly just like a stoat that he's just like wearing as like a necktie.
Oh man, the druid blood within Will is boiling.
And you see just like based off of like the way that they're interacting with him, the like leader of the poachers is wearing like a zebra vest
That's kind of hype though.
but you can tell it's a baby zebra vest.
Oh God! Oh my gosh! I hate these guys.
And it still has the tail on it. So like hanging off the back of the vest is the tail, like a zebra tail that like goes down in between his legs. And
Also, like on the back, you see it has its tail and its college acceptance letter. You could tell its life was just getting started. It had its whole life ahead of it.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
It made straight A's, man. It had such a bright future.
Before I describe anything else, could everybody actually roll me a perception check?
That's funny.
Nat 20.
Guys, I'm not kidding. I also got a nat 20. So we have to roll off. The three of us have to roll off. Sorry, Ransom.
Silvery barbs. That's how I'll help.
Who are you silvery barbs?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think because you lost your perception check, you physically don't know who it is yet.
Like just a flat die, or like, do I have my
Oh, yeah, let's
perception?
do that. Let's just do a flat die. What did you roll?
I rolled a 14.
I got a 16.
You both beat Beetle. Congratulations, Beetle is not in one of the cages.
Oh, thank God. I was wondering where she was.
Yeah, she tried to sneak off earlier, and you guys managed to catch her. If you guys,
Golly.
Pure success.
wow, I cannot believe we all rolled nat 20s. She rolled a nat 20 to get away, and you still managed to find her.
We're experienced.
That stupid cat.
But I will tell you the other animals in these cages. First of all, there is a raven, there is a boar, a crocodile, a tiger, a rhinoceros, and there is one cage that is actually like covered up by a tarp, so you can't actually see what's within that cage. But you see in the last like visible cage, there is a small dog. It looks pretty cute at first, but then as you like look a little bit closer, it does look kind of like a little mangy. It's like missing some of its teeth. You see, it's like Will, you probably know a bit about like dog breeds and stuff. It looks like a Jack Russell like Chihuahua
I
mix.
knew it.
I'm not saving that. I'm not saving it. You can't make me say that. And our listeners are going to think I'm a psychopath because I'm so adamant about not just not saving that Jack Russell, but killing that Jack Russell.
Oh, we gotta save him. We gotta save him.
No, no, it's a curse. You know it's a curse.
For our listeners, we'll go into this more on in our breakdown episode. But this is this is a cameo of one of our dogs. That is probably the worst dog of all time.
He's the worst dog. His name was Max, and he's the worst dog ever. We'll tell you about it later. He was horrible.
So, as you all are looking at the lay of the land, like, what are you doing to prepare to like take your first action?
Will just while we're still hidden, he kind of takes off his like nice like blue cloak and kind of reverses it, and it's got like a black inside, and so that's all on the outside now as he's going into stealth mode fully. Are a lot of them like next to the cages, or like is that like a separate section that I could get between like the bandits and the cages?
The cages are in the dead center of camp.
So Will he puts his like kind of, I think, 30 of his 60 gold into like a handheld pouch that'll jangle a lot, and then kind of ties a string to it, and from where he's like sitting in the woods, like swings it up, and he swings it up like he's got like a slingshot, and then just kind of like throws it, and is aiming for near kind of the entrance of the camp, but still pretty much in the middle. And the goal is he kind of like tied it in a way where swinging it, the momentum of that would kind of keep it shut, but loosely enough where it, when it landed with like a thud, it would kind of spill the gold out.
Roll an attack roll, and that will set the DC for their wisdom save to fall for this.
Nat 20 plus 7.
Oh my gosh, Justice.
Is that 2 nat 20s in a row?
That, like was the other nat 20 the last roll that you did last time too? Because I think that might be like
yeah, just
3 nat 20s in a row for as Will.
like if you count
is
all
wild.
of us, it's 4 in a row.
Wow. That's crazy, dude. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think what happens is you throw this bag of coins down and you see it lands in such a way where it looks like it literally bounces off like the butt of one of the bandits and it jangles out and it looks like he like dropped it. I'll say that there like 5 of them are all over in this corner. As the coins like splatter out, they all just kind of like look at each other, all just dive for the coins and start like picking them all up. And they're like, no, they're mine, you know, and they're just like beating each other up. And as that happens, you see the last covered cage start to like move. And you see like as like the leader is about to go and like try to like break up the fighting, he gets distracted by that. He goes over to the cage and he like kicks it and he says, stop. But it like keeps rustling. He says, that's it. I warned you twice already. And he rips the tarp off the cage. And inside you see 2 humanoids bunched together. One is an human man who is covered in dirt with long gray hair pulled back into like a ponytail. He has a long beard that is filled with sticks and leaves, and he is very clearly either dead or unconscious. The other person you cannot tell the race of, but you can tell that she is not human. While she has the height and build of a typical human, she has green skin and long pointed ears that stick straight out from her head. She is young, probably a little bit younger than Will, and she glares up at the leader of the poachers. And she says, believe me, I heard you both times. Did you hear me when I said I was going to kill you? The poacher laughs, and he says, and how exactly do you plan on doing that, sweetheart? Last I checked, you were still in the cage I put you in. And the woman takes a look around at the bandits, like the chaos that you all started, and looks back up at the leader, and oddly enough, smiles at him and says, oh, I could have changed that at any point. I just wanted to get a lay of the land first. She then yells something out in arcane, and in a flash of green swirling magic, Misty steps out of the cage and in one swift motion stabs him in the gut with a dagger. And as he begins to gasp for air, she shouts out, told ya. And right next to you, you hear Juno mutter to herself, oh, I like her. And Juno takes this moment, fires a crossbow bolt right into the leader's back. What do you do?
Does he look like he's already down?
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay, gotcha. Will turns and just kind of runs straight at the group of them surrounding the gold, and then just kind of jumps in the air and unsheaths his rapier and just tries to stab it through like the lower back of one of the bandits.
Cool.
as his
Yeah,
apex.
go ahead and roll to attack. Roll with advantage and sneak attack.
Sweet. That is a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
That is 23 damage to the first one. It's a mixture of piercing and cold.
He is looking like he is barely hanging on to life, but he is still barely alive right now, as your sword is still just all the way through him.
Well, there's one extra part of it. As Will stabs into his lower back, like this kind of misty coldness goes through Will's blade into him, and then just bursts out of it in a different, just almost figure of pure mist and ice lashes out at the nearest guy, and
Oh, yes. Okay.
does maximum damage for 12 necrotic as it just seeps into that guy. And yeah,
Wild.
Okay. So you see a mimicry of what happens to this first guy happens to the second, but instead of a blade, there's just blood that just splurts out of this guy from seemingly nowhere. Everyone here is now panicked, and rightfully so. Everybody roll initiative.
Do we have advantage or anything because we were prepping for this? Or are we just rolling normal?
Just roll normal. You will all have a surprise round.
Okay, cool. So that's a +1 for a 3.
Okay.
16.
16. Will.
8.
So one of these bandits is already full dead. 2 of them are looking very hurt, and everyone else is doing all right. But these cages, I'll just go ahead and tell you this, the way this will work. Anybody can take like a bonus action and unlock one of these cages and kind of roll the dice, literally to see if the animal inside will help you in the fight or not. So that can be something that anybody does on their turn. They just have to make it to the cage. Juno is going to go. I think she is going to attack that guy that is like almost dead. And she hits. And you see the guy that was like barely clinging onto life. Another crossbow bolt just straight through his head, and he is gone. And then bonus action hides, so she can continue to just do that every turn. The next person to go is actually this green-skinned woman. She's like over on the other side of the camp. She rushes up on one of the bandits, like shoulder checks him like into a tree, and then you see as she wild shapes into a black bear and just begins to, in black bear form, wraps her mouth around him and just starts shaking him around. That is going to be the bandit's turn, but they do not get a turn this round because this is a surprise round. And then we're going to go to Ellis.
All right. So
I'll say basically you guys are like 30 feet away. You can get to like you wouldn't be in melee range this turn unless you dashed, but you'll be within range of everything else.
Yeah, I'm cool. I don't want to be in melee range, so that's totally fine. I would like to just keep it simple and throw a fire bolt at the weakest looking guy, the worst looking guy. Does a 19 hit?
19 hits.
So that's 11 damage.
Describe what happens as you knock this guy down.
Ellis just like, he sees the guy like kind of wobbling and bleeding and stuff, and he goes, all right, this is the one. He just goes, shoots out this like little like bullet of fire that goes and hits the guy, and he expects it to like burn him and like just like knock him down, but it fully engulfs the man. Like he's just fully on fire immediately. He does like a 30-second fire stunt and then falls down and is still like burning.
Yeah.
And Ellis is just kind of just watching, just in shocked silence. He's like, what was that guy made of?
He had like a really shaggy dog's like as a coat.
That's karma. That's karma.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of my turn. I don't have any bonus actions that I really want to use. I'm still maintaining concentration. I'm just gonna stay where I'm at, far away.
Okay. Will, that is you.
You said one of the cages had a tiger in it?
Yep.
Okay. Will's just going to kind of temporarily sheath the rapier so that I could potentially activate its ability later. And then it's just, am I in melee range?
I think you would get one opportunity attack if you were to leave.
Okay, I'll use my action to disengage and then
Okay.
run to the cage with the tiger in it. And
Okay.
use my bonus action to unlock the door. And
Okay.
then kind of just like unlock the door and swing it open and kind of like put myself up against the other cages with the door kind of protecting me and just say, go on, go, go. And then like turn to the raven and the other ones and just be like, I'll get you next.
Okay, cool. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a luck check? A 5 or lower, it attacks you for some reason. Like in between 5 and 10, it just runs away. Higher than a 10, it attacks the bandits. So 11 or higher.
15.
So the tiger rushes out. It has this move, pounce. If the tiger moves at least 20 feet straight toward a creature and then hits it with a claw attack on the same turn, target must make a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. So it's going to do that. It hits 7 damage. The target is knocked prone. It's literally one with like tiger pants, and it gets like knocked down, and the tiger just starts like eating this guy alive. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's everything.
Okay, Z.
Z is going to, with his like prepared thing for rage, he's going to loosen his chains to gain the legs of the Demogorgon, and one we haven't played around with yet, the face of the Demogorgon.
You want to describe what that looks like?
Yeah, so his legs do the same thing they did last time, where they like very upsettingly like split in the wrong way and then like kind of reattach to themselves so that he gains more height but mainly speed, so that he should be able to get there this turn instead of having to use a whole turn to dash to get there. His mouth seems to not really unhinge but like get a little bigger somehow, and his teeth like sharpen, and his canines get longer, not in the way like vampires do, but like more like a baboon or a boar or something, kind of a like closer to like tusks or like saber-tooth type teeth. And his eyes, the white parts of his eyes actually get clattered over with black, and his irises go red.
Awesome. You are actually closer to where this green skinned woman is. And so, well, now she's a bear. So you show up and there's a bear there. You are enlarged and enraged. Yeah, what do you do?
Just start swinging at people. So, like, how many people are...
I will say that there are 4 over here.
Rad. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my hammer, and I'm going to bring it down on top of one of them.
Okay.
So that's a 16 plus 8. I imagine that hits.
Yep, that'll do it.
12 damage. And then I'm going to grab the dude I just like bonked over the head. In my brain, I just swung straight down and like knocked his head towards the ground. I'm going to just take my other hand. I'm going to grab him by the back of the neck and I'm going to throw him at somebody else. Do you want me to roll an attack for that, or you want me to roll athletics for that to make that happen, like opposed?
Okay, yeah. So you're wanting to like hurt both of them?
I'm even, because we're so close, because we're in melee, I might just grab him by the neck and swing him like an improvised weapon at the other person.
Yeah, go for it. Make an athletics check.
Okay.
I'll say that.
So that would be a 5 on the die, but plus the 16 that I get from being enlarged.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
him.
that'll do it. Go ahead let's say,
How about he swings him like he does the same damage to the other guy that he like might do with like a regular like hammer hit, but then the guy he's swinging takes half of whatever he does to the other guy.
yeah, I like that. So I think that's what we'll do.
All right, cool. 15 damage.
So that other guy is immediately looking very hurt, and the one that you're holding is on death's door, just like
Yeah, just grab him by
Just,
the
like,
back of the
crying.
skull and then just make him headbutt the other dude.
yeah.
So as a bonus action, I will, with my abilities with the Demogorgon face, I shall incite fear. So all 4 of them need to make a wisdom save.
Okay, and that is a DC 16. These guys do not have very good wisdom. That's a fail. Yeah, so basically everyone within this range is gonna have to roll. All of them failed except for one. Describe to me, like, what do they see that terrifies them so much?
The whole thing with the Demogorgon is that it's a bunch of like psychic stuff. So I think that it's kind of like the fear toxin from the Batman movies, like the Dark Knight movies, to where it's like they just see different versions. It's still Z, but it's just different versions of Z flavored to whatever they fear the most.
Very
So
cool.
it's like, so some of them it might just be like he's covered in maggots. One of them he might be a zombie.
One of them, he's his mom.
Yeah. However that works. So that's kind of up to you, but I think that's kind of the effect. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
The IRS. One of them is flavored as the IRS.
So they
Fantasy
all
or
are
IRS.
under the frightened condition now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, that is the end of my turn.
Okay, cool. All but one of those guys are still frightened.
Did the bear lady roll?
Oh, yeah. She needs to roll too.
Because this is an AoE
She
ability.
failed. She is frightened of you.
Oh.
Oh.
It happens.
Juno is going to come out of hiding. She is going to try to take out the guy that the tiger is trying to kill. She rolls a natural 1 and misses. And as a rogue, that sucks. So she is going to hide again. You hear her like, just like, and but by the time that you look, she's gone again. Okay. The black bear is going to attack. Unfortunately with disadvantage, because the frightened condition, nat 20 and a 17 plus 3 is a 20 will hit, dealing 5 points of damage to the one that she had pinned up against the tree. And then she is going to actually like run away from that one. It's going to try to attack her with disadvantage because of you. Natural 1, so he misses, and she takes off to go join the tiger. Basically, she's like, I'm going to turn my back on this guy so I don't have disadvantage anymore. And now we are to the bandits. The one rolling around with the tiger is going to hit the tiger for 9 points of damage. One other person that's over there that's also going to attack the tiger and do an additional 5. There's the 2 guys that are with you, Drew. They're both going to try to attack you with disadvantage. That's a miss. That's a miss for both of them. They're not doing great. And then the one that's rolling straight. Oh my gosh. 12?
No.
Yeah, so all 3 of them miss you.
Apparently, they didn't need to be frightened. They just suck. How in the world did they catch a rhino?
So now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 that we have not established where they are yet. So everybody roll off.
Okay.
13.
10.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Dude, you only rolled nat 20s and 1s.
It balances out.
So on a nat 1, you're getting 3 of these people are coming after you, and one is throwing a javelin at Ransom, Ellis, and one of them is attacking Z.
Okay, no, before you make the attack rolls, it finally comes into play. My cloak activates when they start going at me and projects an illusion in front of me. And so until one of them succeeds, they have disadvantage to hit me.
Okay, sweet. What is the what is that cloak that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the Cloak of Displacement. It's like flavored after a Displacer Beast's ability, and it's really cool.
Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, it's made out of a Displacer Beats skin. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah, the hypocrite that is Will.
Will's poacher.
I would never wear that.
Okay, the Ellis, the one attacking you, rolled a nat 1 on their javelin.
Sick.
So they do not hit you. The one attacking you.
Can I Northman catch it and throw it back?
No, I don't think so. If you're a monk or something.
It would be fire.
Does a 13 hit you, Z?
No.
Oh my gosh. They cannot hit anybody.
I don't know why my armor class is 15, but I'll take it.
So
I've got a
they're
great
all going to
con.
be rolling disadvantage against you. Justice. 13's not going to do it. Nat 20 and a 16?
16 will hit me.
Okay, at least it wasn't nat 20.
I'll uncanny dodge for that one.
Okay, got it. Okay, the last one hit as well. So let's see, total up that damage. 19 points of damage between these two guys as they come up with these clubs. These 3 guys swarm you. You're able to dodge the first guy. Your cloak shields you, but the other one is able to come up from below, smack you across the face, and they're able to get 2 good jabs in. Okay, it is now Ellis's turn.
The one who threw a javelin at me. Are there still closed cages?
Oh yeah.
With animals in them and stuff?
Yep, there is still a raven, rhinoceros, boar, crocodile,
Okay.
and of course Frankie.
Are they around like the bandits and stuff?
So Will is next to the cages right now, caught in combat with three of the poachers. So
I would like to use magic missile to shoot the locks off of each of the cages.
okay,
Oh.
bro. Okay, awesome. Okay, first level.
That's a D4. How many? 3 darts. Yeah, 3. How many cages are there?
There are 5 counting Frankie. You could just pick pick whichever ones you want.
Okay. Rhinoceros, boar, crocodile.
Good choices.
Let's hope they don't tear me asunder.
This is very cool. But before we do literally anything else, Ransom, gonna have you roll your first wild magic surge in combat. And the way that we're gonna do this is basically in combat, it'll get more and more likely for him to surge as it goes. So it'll still only happen on a 1, but he'll start at a D12. Next time he casts a spell, it'll be a D10. Next time it'll be D8, etc., etc. So go ahead and roll out D12 and tell us what it is.
That was a 6. 6.
6.
That's what I rolled.
All right,
So
cool.
I'm still good.
So no surge this time. So you'll be down to a D10 next time. But now I need you to roll 3d20 to determine the attitudes of these creatures. And because of the creativity of this move, I will let you choose which roll goes to which creature.
Okay, cool. So the first one's a 15.
Okay.
Second one's a 15. Third one's a 19.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. They're all on your side. Animals rule. Okay,
Yes.
so these
Druid
creatures
kids.
start coming
Druid
immediately to your aid, Ransom. I mean, Justice.
The beam motif from RRR starts playing on the soundtrack as I set them free.
The crocodile bites one of them and immediately grapples it.
Amazing. Dead, bro.
The boar hits and it also fails a saving throw, is knocked prone, also takes 7 damage. And then the rhinoceros looks like it's gonna run away for a second and then swerves back around, and Will, you have to like dodge out of the way as it charges, and it is going to also hit. Oh my gosh. And it just straight up obliterates the other one in one hit.
Well, yeah, it's a rhino.
And Ellis, anything else you want to do on your turn?
Ellis is just going to start walking away to get more distance so that they can't throw more javelins at him.
Yeah, I imagine it's this like big dramatic thing with a bunch of dramatic camera angles of the locks all exploding, the animals running out, a bunch of random pyrotechnics go off, and that cuts back to Ellis, and he just like Homer Simpsons his way back into the woods, just slowly. Just like
That's exactly right.
So the tiger is just deals another 8 damage to the one that it's got. That one is looking extremely hurt now, and we are back to Will.
Will unsheaths the rapier again and then just stabs it into kind of like the gut of the guy that's grappled by and prone by the alligator. 14 to hit.
Unfortunately does not hit.
Man, I've rolled like below a 10 on both die for every attack so far.
That sucks.
That is the only attack I can do. Well, actually, no. 2-weapon fighting. Because this is a light weapon. Would you allow me to unsheath my dagger and make an attack with my dagger as a bonus action?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it. And you can still add sneak attack.
Sweet. So it's my bonus weapon attack, so I can't add my +4. So that is 6 damage total to that guy. The one that's grappled by the alligator, and then the one that is fighting the boar, the mist is going to go after again. Wow, I have rolled nothing but 5s and 6s on that. That is 11 necrotic damage to that guy.
Oh gosh. That is awesome. Gray going to work for you, baby.
Yeah.
As like you like stab this one with your dagger, and it's like, oh, that wasn't very good. And then the one laying on the ground just like, oh, it's like the one laying right next to you just like explodes with blood. Z, that is you.
How many people are left near me? Is it still 3 dudes next to me, or is it?
There are actually 4 people near you again because you weren't able to kill one on your turn, and then additional one came.
All right, cool. So I'm going to just position myself to where my back is facing everybody but the bandits, if I can do that. Do I get any opportunity attacks or anything by positioning myself?
I'll say you get 1.
Okay.
But they have disadvantage, and they don't hit you.
Okay. And I'm going to forgo my 2 attacks to do my gazing attack that I get as an option from my using the face of the Demogorgon. And I'll like turn, and the eyes that are red just flash yellow.
So all 4 of these guys are gonna roll. Fail. That one. Fail. The natural 2. These guys suck, man.
Oh
so
man,
bad.
that's rough.
That's
buddy.
embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
That's rough.
First describe to me what this looks like. Like, what is this attack? So you had this like initial like minor attack that just like makes them kind of afraid of you. What is this that like hurts them?
Kind of again, like it's very similar to the fear ability, but it's the hyped up version of it to where he's like focusing to do it, versus just like being a very scary man. And so it's like it's all psychic damage and stuff, which is pretty fun. And so I think again, it's just kind of like what they most fear, but instead of just like kind of seeing the scariest version that they can imagine of Z, there's just more stuff going on. So it's like all their fears just kind of like show up around them and just start attacking them. But it's basically just illusions in their own brain. So it's just like all the people they've wronged, all the like for them it would be like creatures that they've killed and whatnot. Just like so it's just like an absolute like insane amount of animals just like going after them like constantly. But it's all in their head.
I love it. Roll 66 plus 5 damage.
29.
Describe to me what happens to these 4 people.
I think like they're all like, you know, how you would film it actually. They're all screaming and yelling and whatever else, like just slashing. And then all of a sudden his eyes or whatever, like the iris of them that's red just glows to a faint yellow. And then they all just stop moving. And you just like, if the camera would zoom in, you would just see like little bits of blood just like pulling up in the corners of their eyes and just slowly start to like drip down. And then they all just fall over.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
And they are no more.
As they are attacked by their poor life choices.
Yeah. Is that do you have any bonus actions?
Is there more people around?
No, you got all them. Yeah. I mean, there are more people around, but you'd have to like move.
All right, so like how many more people are there?
There is the one that the tiger is still taking care of, and there is the 2 that are prone next to Will.
I would like to do both of the people that are on the ground, but I imagine I'll just get to do one because that's fair. But I'm going to use my bonus action with my leg abilities to just jump as high as I can and just land on top of them.
Okay.
With my enlarged self.
Well, yeah, so
just like
I will
land
say
on their chest.
I will say because the crocodile literally has it in its mouth, unless you want to hurt the crocodile as well, you'll just want to target the boar one. Yeah. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and like 2 weapon fighting attack on the one on the ground.
Okay. So that's a 17 plus 8, so I think that hits.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, that's good. So that's 3 plus 10. So that's 13.
Describe what you do to this guy.
Is he facing is he on his back or on his
He's
stomach?
on his back. Yeah, he's on his back.
Yeah, so I land on his chest and just collapse his lungs. Just a very big foot.
Yeah, dead instantly.
His kill count is getting so high so fast.
When you got one
turn?
job, Justice, when you got one job.
That's awesome.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so we are at the top of the order with Juno. She is going to attempt to shoot from hiding again. There we go. That is enough. Juno takes the one out that the tiger has been gnawing on. So there are only 2 left. It is now the black bear's turn. She is going to attack. The bite misses. Claws hits for 5 damage. Okay, and that takes us to these guys' turn.
Are they gonna run?
That's a good question. Let me roll some wisdom saves for them. That's not sounding like a bad idea.
They better run.
One of them rolled a 2 on their wisdom, and one of them rolled a 16 on their wisdom. And we'll say that they are the one that's not engaged with anyone. So they're going to book it 30 feet away from the fight. And the other one is going to lash out at the black bear and misses. No, hits. Yikes. Black bear's looking on death's door. Takes 17 points of damage. And is not looking good. Okay, Ellis, that's you.
The one that's running away, can I roll like an insight check to see if he's going to get help?
Sure.
16.
I don't think that's what you would assume. Based off of the size of their camp and stuff, this is all that they have.
Gotcha. I just yell, au revoir, mi chérie. And then I turn around and I'm going to shoot the guy who's fighting the black bear with another firebolt. Keep it simple, 15.
That is not going to do it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the end of my turn. I love turns like that where
Yeah.
you only have one thing you can do and it doesn't work. So it's just like, all right, now I just get to sit back, enjoy the ride,
Tiger missed twice. Rhinoceros. Let's see how the rhinoceros does. Oh, rhinoceros rolled a nat 1.
Can he have advantage for being a rhinoceros?
Can he have an advantage because he's cool and because he's got a big old horn?
Crocodile exactly hits.
Let's freaking go.
Does 11 piercing damage, and the target is now restrained in the crocodile's mouth. So this guy's looking real hurt now. Okay, that takes us to Will. You have this guy basically at your feet, at your mercy at this point.
Will is gonna look down at the guy with that's in the crocodile's mouth. You brought this on yourself, and then it's just going to reach down, and with my action, I'd like to just take his weapons out of his hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that like a sleight of hand or?
Yeah, sleight of hand. We'll do that.
13 total.
Okay, I'll do it opposed, like dex save. Unfortunately, he's able to squirm away and not allow you to do that.
Oh, even if he's restrained?
Oh, yeah. No, he gets disadvantage. Thank you. Not 1.
Sweet. And Will takes his weapons and then just walks like a foot or two and drops them on the ground and then says, "You brought this on yourself, man." And then walks over and starts opening the latch cage for the raven and just leaves the guy to the crocodile.
Okay. Raven flies out. No need to roll for the raven. The raven was always good. The raven is just going to fly directly at the guy and misses, but is super annoying. All right, Z, that is your turn.
So I'm gonna go ahead. And I'm just gonna flip my hammer upside down so that the bottom is just going straight down. I'm just gonna pull him out of his misery and just aim for his head, just like.
Jeez.
Okay. Is anybody gonna try to stop Z from doing this, or are you just gonna?
He's got the legs and the face right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Will just kind of looks at him as he's about to do that and is about to say something and just kind of sees his eyes and just kind of tenses up and then just turns away, and it's I'm just not gonna watch.
That's 19 damage.
Yeah, you put this guy out of his misery for sure. That's just one attack. You still have your move and a bonus action. Would Z chase after the other guy, or are you letting him go?
I'm gonna throw my hammer at him.
Okay. Okay.
Try to conk him in the back of the head.
Okay. Okay.
Z's going for that 7th kill.
So you're gonna run. What's your movement?
My movement is 50 feet.
Oh yeah. So you would only be 10 feet away from him at this point. Go ahead and roll that attack. Normally,
That's a 17 plus 8.
that'll do it.
Oh, I rolled minimum damage. 11.
This guy was, as of yet, uninjured. So he is still like alive at this point. Bonus action.
So I'll bonus action dash, and I'll close up that last 10 feet. Be right behind him.
Okay. So he is like trying to run, thinks he's gonna get away, because he hears because he hears Ellis basically say bye, and he's like, "Whew, I'm gonna make it." And then he gets hit in the back of the head with a sledgehammer, and suddenly the Demogorgon is just standing right behind him. Horrifying. We are back up to the top, and Juno is gonna just be like, "Oh, it's like this," and then she is gonna hit him for 12 damage. He is definitely on death's door at this point. Black Bear is also gonna rush up to him, but would have to use a dash action to reach him, so is not gonna be able to do anything. On his turn, he's gonna lash out at you. 13's not gonna do it, so he misses. And I don't think he's gonna try to run, because I think he knows there's no point in that.
There's no use running.
After attempting to hit you and you just like move out of the way, he just drops his weapon and falls to his knees. Just says, "Please."
And Z sees 2 orbs come up. One says, "Kill him," and one says, "Spare him."
Yeah. Ellis, do you want to do anything on your turn?
I think on Ellis's turn, he's just gonna like stretch and just like casually walk into the camp and just like look at all the animals and just be like, "You may go. You're free now."
The animals look up at you and then just like nod and then race over to the guy. And so as Z is standing here,
he's in the
looking
splash
down
zone.
at this guy,
Z, you gotta get out of there.
begging for
Rhino's
his
coming.
life.
Rhino's
The rhino,
coming, Gore. It's a gore.
oh yeah, bro, he's gone. There is just an explosion of viscera as the rhino just like rushes past you. Z, you just feel like the wind shift as the rhino passes you, and he is just completely trampled. The crocodile jumps in, does his work, and the tiger gets in there, and it's just not for the faint of heart to witness, and we are out of combat.
And of course, the rhino does go back to the one burning body to go stomp out the fire.
Yes,
'Cause
absolutely.
That is his job. Just creates a pool on the ground.
So what do you all do as you're kind of standing here in the aftermath? All of these animals kind of just walking around at this point, sniffing the ground, making sure their captors are all dead, pretty much.
Ellis kind of just looks around and he sees just the amount of dead all of these people are. The state of not alive that all of them are, and he's like, "I only killed one of them. And it was an accident. I didn't even mean to kill him. I didn't know that his jacket was that flammable. It doesn't. It's all right. I didn't kill." And he just takes a second. And he just goes, "All right. Well, why did we come here? what was our plan? What was our quest?
To get this dog.
Wait, we kill. Okay, wait. So we. He looks at the dog. What is the dog doing?
So you look down at the dog, who is in the cage and is like looking up at you. It looks like strangely like it only has like 3 teeth on its bottom jaw, and it just looks up at you with these like really big eyes, and it looks up at you,
And I just go, Lenny?
The dog does not seem to respond, but just kind of like scratches at the bars and just goes.
Can I roll an insight on this guy?
Sure.
That's a 25.
Seems like he wants let out of the cage.
But does he have ulterior motives?
As you're thinking that, you see the black bear begins to like de-wild shape back into this green-skinned woman with the long pointy ears, gets her composure back, and she says, I wouldn't recommend that.
Wouldn't recommend what?
Opening up that cage. That, my friend, is a monster.
I look back at him. What's he doing when I look back at him? Okay, I have a spell. Hang on. I have a spell called Comprehend Languages, and let me see if there's...
I will bring up that Z, one of the benefits of having the mouth of the Demogorgon allows him to speak with animals.
Okay, cool. I'll be like, oh, for one thing, I'll drop concentration on enlarge, and I'll be like, Z, what's this guy's deal? Do you know?
Z will just like lumber over. Basically, the second like combat ended, Z just basically walked over and started just mumbling to himself and punching a tree, just over and over again, just like it, like in his own like just mental state, just like not quite that energy. More trying to slow himself down off of his momentum. But yeah, Z will make his way over to the creature and just like listen to it for a moment.
You hear the little dog who just goes, let me out. Let me out.
It seems he just wants to be let out.
I'm trying so hard not to metagame right now. This is ridiculous. There is no part of me, Ransom, who wants to let this dog out. I get nothing but bad vibes from this guy. So I need to find a way for Ellis to not want to let him out either. I need to find something. Because I can't do it in good conscience.
This little creature does not seem to have a vibe that he seems to be trustworthy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's just a little guy. I mean, what's the harm he could do?
He's speaking like a gremlin, just repeating himself like a chant.
Harm. Harm.
What did he say? What's he saying, Z?
He said harm, and then just continues to repeat, "Let me out."
The woman says like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. Why don't you let us know? First of all, my name is Ellis. I go to shake her hand.
She shakes her hand.
What's your name?
First, if you don't mind, and she actually rushes over to the cage where the old man is laying unconscious, and she's like, almost forgot. And she casts healing word on him. His eyes kind of like open up, and he, oh man, you all right? I'm fine, Dad. Are you doing okay? And he's like, yeah, where's Frankie? Where's my dog?
Excuse my biases. Is he also green? Or does... No. Okay. I was just making sure. I couldn't remember. I thought that that's what you said because I was envisioning him as like this like old like Merlin-esque wizardy guy.
Yes. And he's like, "Oh, Frankie, you poor thing. Let me let you out of there."
I step in between him and the dog. And I go, hang on. This dog has been saying harm and let me out.
Ah, he's just playing.
I still your daughter?
My name's Buck. And he extends his hand.
Nice to meet you, Buck.
Do you all see my sign?
I look around and see all like the bodies and I can still smell the charred corpse. And I just go, from the tavern. Yes, the inn. And we accepted that quest.
Glad it worked out. Could I let my dog out now?
No. Because here's the thing. Your daughter said that we shouldn't let it out.
He turns to his daughter and is like, "Is that true?" And she says, "Dad, you know how he gets. He's so... There's something... I don't trust him. I never have. I just don't trust him. You just gotta give him a chance." And he goes to like open up the cage, and Z, you hear the dog go, "Finally, my plan." And Buck picks him up and he's like, "Oh, you sweet little thing," and starts like scratching under his chin. "Thank you so much for helping me get my dog back, and well, for saving me. As you can see, we got a little impatient. Didn't go super well. My daughter here thought she had it all handled, but apparently she needed you all." And she just kind of rolls her eyes and doesn't correct the fact that she broke herself out of the cage. He reaches down into his pocket where he has like a little like brown like what looks like a leather like square like that's like all tied up, and he hands it over and says, "Here's the bag of holding. I'll be honest. I didn't say this in the message, but it does have... it needs repaired, but it should be pretty easy to repair. And there is plenty of stuff inside that you all can use. We don't have any need for any of these." And he like motions around to the camp and he says, "If you guys want to, have your way with looting everything that's here, go for it. We don't need anything, but I really appreciate your help." And he hands over the leather square.
I would like to talk to the Raven and also loot bodies.
Okay, cool. So the Raven is just kind of like hopping around. You see that it's like bouncing around like the leader of the group, and is just like picking through its pockets with its beak. And like you see like when you get over there, he has like a coin in his mouth and looks up at you.
It seems like me and you might be kindred spirits. And we'll just kind of crouches down and then just hands him a coin.
He sets the coin down that he has like over like in a pile of other things that he's collected so far, and he like comes over and and grabs it and takes it over to his pile and sets it down.
It's a pretty cool pile you have there. And then Will is just gonna start rifling through the bandit like leaders.
The line between
pockets.
Justice and Will in this conversation is non-existent. That's a pretty cool pile.
That's a pretty cool pile. Will's gonna start rifling through the bandit leaders like pockets and then go through like each of his companions, and if I find any just like basic like copper coins and stuff like that, he's gonna flick them over to nearby where the pile is so that the Raven can, if he wants, he can stack them.
Can you roll 12 d20s and keep track of the numbers?
Yeah.
Then add a 0 to it, and that is how many gold pieces that you find. Z, what are you doing?
I'm actually gonna, like, as he's like finally slowing down and like catching his breath, but before his effects and everything start kicking off, I'm gonna make a perception check and look for Beetle, figure out where Beetle is in all this mess.
You see that Beetle is it takes you a minute to find her, but you see that she is actually about 20 feet away from you all, kind of like looking out behind a tree, like really tense, like her hair is like standing up, and she's just staring daggers at the dog.
When two evil beings clash.
Do you like walk over there?
Yeah.
Hey, Beetle.
She doesn't look at you.
Beetle, this is the rare opportunity where me and you can talk for a moment. Do you have any insight on why Isaac sent you here?
Beetle at least acts like she doesn't hear you.
Beetle, I really don't want to raise my voice and get upset.
Beetle like looks up and like acts like she saw something interesting and starts like chasing after it. Like away from you.
I'm going to put the dog on the ground, Beetle. I'm going to set it on the ground.
She freezes. Weighs her options. Keeps walking.
All right.
And he just slowly starts making his way back over to the dog
To
to see how she reacts.
Beetle, as you begin walking away, you just hear almost as a whisper, Beetle respond to you. Can't.
Can't because he told you not to, or can't because you don't know?
Can't.
Beetle, I've seen the shenanigans you get up to. Like, I know you're smarter than just a one-word phrase. Like, that little shivering creature being held in that man's arms can form full sentences, so I have full faith in you.
Do you like go over to her?
Yeah. He just like squats down to like get closer to her level. He can't physically get on her level by any means, but
I think your ability to do this, I think it also, because it changes your eyes, I think you're actually able to sort of, animals are not like humans, and that we reflect a lot of emotions onto dogs, like, oh, he's smiling, when in reality they're probably just panting and hot, I think when Z activates this ability, he's able to read more emotion on the faces of animals as well as hear what they're trying to say. It's a real communication that's happening. And you see genuine sadness on Beetle's face when you talk about, like, I know that you're smarter than this. You can form bigger sentences than this. And she just says, can't.
Something's not right there. It's either, I don't know.
he'll just like walk away.
And she also just kind of walks away.
Well, let's head to the boat, I guess.
As you say that, the woman approaches and says, did you say boat?
Yeah,
Where are you going?
we're heading out to the Pink Sea.
Really? And you see she kind of just looks like genuinely just excited for a minute. And she says, I know you guys don't really know me. But Do you think I could come?
What circle are you from?
I am Circle of the Shepherd. My dad taught me how to care for all of the animals of the land, except that one. And she points at the dog.
I turn to Will and Z, and I just go, "Is Circle of the Shepherd good? Is that like, are we cool with them?"
It's the Goody Two Shoes group.
Oh, okay.
They make our circle look kind of the bad boys in comparison.
She says,
Which is
Hey,
weird because their
listen,
dad
a
hugged
lot.
trees like every morning.
Legitimately, he, like every morning, that was part of his morning meditation. He'd go out and hug every
Hey,
tree in our
hey.
yard.
hey, listen,
Took him 3 hours.
You saw how I handled myself in that fight.
Well, here's the thing: we only have so much room. So, and he like looks at her, and he looks at he looks at her, and he looks at Juno, and he just goes, "Only one of you can come." And then he just he just goes, "Let this be a clean fight."
Listen, I don't want to fight anyone. I've been saving up for this for a long time. I really didn't want to go by myself. I've never really had a party. It's just been me and my dad and, well, my mom, but that's kind of the point. Okay. I'm sure you're wondering why I look like this.
The internal monologue for Z just goes, "Oh, she's green."
And has like massive ears sticking out the side of her head.
I mean, yeah, I was wondering how, like, where, I guess, like, you're,
Yeah. My mom's a goblin.
he looks at the man, and he just, like, it's the most serious face. Like, he just, like, just straight up, he just looks right at him.
She says, "Have you all heard of goblins? I know a lot of people haven't. So,
No, we've
that?
heard of goblins.
Yeah, we've heard of them.
Just looking right at- I'm staring him down so hard.
She says, "Yes, my mother, she was a really amazing woman. She and my dad fell in love 20 years ago or so. She's the one that taught me how to fight and to be strong, but goblins don't live very long. She lived to be about 36.
I look at this old man so hard.
What is your problem? I don't understand what your
It's a goblin. They only live like 40 years. This is an old man.
They age really quickly.
That's what they all say.
When I say old man, you can tell this guy's in his 50s, maybe. They both met in their 20s, and then she got old extremely fast.
Okay. You're on thin ice.
She died when I was 10. But she told me many, many stories of the land where she grew up. I've always wanted to go. And I know that's not exactly where you're going, but I figure maybe this trip might give me the experience I need to take the trip I want to take by myself.
Like an internship?
She says, "No, I don't want to work for you. I just want to be along for the ride."
Well, if that's the case, then we're going to give you an intern.
I don't think I need an intern.
I think you need an intern, and I'm going to be like, Juno, whatever she needs, you make sure it happens.
Juno just rolls her eyes so hard.
Will walks over to you and just takes out about 350 of the gold he's collected and says, I mean, You were in the cage. You helped us fight. It's only fair.
She holds her hand out. She says, I really appreciate it. I do. But I've been saving up for this my whole life. I'm covered. All I ask is that I can hang out with you guys.
Ellis takes the gold from Will and puts it in his bag of holding. And he goes, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
All right. Follow-up question. What's your name? And is this Raven like already your friend, or can I have him?
The Raven, I have no relation to him. He seems great though. So
Yeah, his vibe is
I
rad.
I will be honest, I don't prefer I don't like, the possessive language, you can't have him, but he might decide to go with you if you ask nicely. But as for my name, so my mom named me.
Okay.
My name's Sofa.
Okay.
That's a good name.
That's a good name. Like a sofa?
Yes, like the couch. Yes. They have a very strict naming convention where they're from. She wanted me to be connected to my lineage.
Mm-hmm.
I like my name.
Yeah, no, I genuinely like it too. I think it's cool.
I like my name.
That's good. I like your name too.
Good.
It's just unique,
Yeah. All right. We gonna go?
You've taken an aggressive tone all of a sudden.
Are we gonna go?
as if we were gonna make fun of your name, but we didn't. We all said it was cool.
You then hear a different voice say, "You're not going anywhere." You turn and look, and walking slowly out of the woods, eyes glowing bright green, long white robe, black skull in the center. This woman with dark skin, long curly hair that flows down off her face. She looks at you, Will, and says, "You're really not as stealthy as you think you are." If you would remember that 12 stealth check from a couple episodes ago.
That's what I thought. Will didn't think. I thought that. Yeah. Yeah, and his mind goes back onto that, and he just like puts his hand on the hilt of his sword and kind of like starts backing up a little bit.
She says, "Will, is it?
Yes.
I think you have something that belongs to us."
It does not belong to you.
You took it from our temple.
You shouldn't have had it.
It's always been with us.
That doesn't mean you own it.
Give us the beads.
No.
That necklace is very important to our circle. If you don't hand it over right now, I can assure you, none of you will leave here alive.
I want to put my hands behind my back and start constructing a fireball.
I was just gonna say, on like basically the mention of her threatening his brothers, he was just gonna chuck his hammer right at her head
Oh God!
from just basically off screen. Just like,
Oh gosh.
She says, "Have it your way." Just as this hammer starts flying, go ahead and roll the hit.
that's a 19 plus 8.
19 plus 8 will do it.
So that would be only 7 damage.
She takes it on the chin. Everybody roll initiative again.
22.
I got a 14.
I got, I think, the highest initiative I've gotten so far in this campaign with a 15.
I will also say, since you were sort of preparing, what were you preparing?
Fireball.
I will let you cast that as a prepared action as well.
Sure. I'm going to spend a few sorcery points to make it dangerous, which gives her a disadvantage on the saving throw.
Okay, cool. She fails.
Baby.
Okay, thanks to your disadvantage.
Let's go. 20 fire damage.
Ellis, describe what this fireball looks like, and I'm gonna need you to roll wild magic.
The fireball it's the same one that he did before, but it's a little bit more shoddily made because he was doing it behind his back with like the threads and stuff. So it still looks almost like that ball of yarn with the threads of fire kind of woven around an orb of heat. And when it lands, it kind of just explodes in a bunch of like golden sparkles, similar to like those really big fireworks. And whenever it explodes out, it does that thing. It sizzles in the air. And you said wild magic thing, so it's a D10 now, right?
D10. Yep.
8.
We're still good. We're still good. You're still good. So now you're down to a D8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Top of the initiative order is Will. What do you do?
This feels like a horrible idea, but I do think it's true to the character. Hopefully, as a bonus action, he reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out ivory beads and pulls them into his hand and throws them at Juno and just says, "If she gets me, take these and run," and then runs with his sword at the Circle of Skull Lady.
As you go to grab the necklace and you look to see Juno's gone.
Man, I was hoping I'd get her before she left. Yeah, okay, never mind. I guess scratch that. Was going to just pull out his sword and run at Circle of Skull Lady and take a swing. $13 to hit again.
13 hits, actually.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
She's a spellcaster, Justice. She's puny.
14 damage. If I have any, do I have any movement left?
Yeah.
I'm going to take disengage as a bonus action and just kind of like back up and try and get out of her reach.
Sweet. So yeah, so you do that. She is already looking very hurt, actually. She seems to have underestimated you all. She is still a little bit like on fire from this fireball, still like rattled, like not really able to keep her balance from the sledgehammer hit, and just getting stabbed just straight through the stomach. She's already looking very hurt, but she gathers her composure. She had like the staff in her hand, and she throws that to the ground and just raises both of her arms and brings them back down. And there is this storm cloud that comes in above all of you and begins raining sleet down on top of you. I need you all to roll
Counter spell.
3rd level spell, right? Yeah, that just happens. The spell is canceled. She yells out again, and she begins to just get bigger and bigger and bigger and wider until suddenly her wild shape completes, and standing before you is an elephant. She raises up and charges at you, Will.
Was there a wild surge when he did counterspell? Is that
Oh, yeah. Roll wild magic.
Justice. That's an 8.
But so yeah, so now you're down to a 6. Justice.
She has disadvantage to hit
She does?
because of my displacing thing. It resets at the
Thank
top
God.
of a round.
Thank God
That was a
she
nat 20,
crit on
wasn't
you.
it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. As an elephant, that is really bad.
And I'm still injured. Like, there's a strong chance she
yeah,
could one shot
exactly.
me. even
I
with
was
this.
like, oh no, this could legitimately kill you. Okay, that is a 16 to hit you.
That'll hit.
I need you to make a DC 12 strength saving throw.
Oh no. I'm not good at those. And of course, that is a 5.
So you take 19 points of piercing damage.
Uncanny dodge. That halves it. So what does that have it to?
We'll say 9.
I am barely still up.
And then she stomps on you because you're prone. That's 22 damage.
Okay, so I'm far into death saves.
So you are downed. Will be rolling a death save on his turn. Yes. So it is Sofa's turn.
Sofa.
She-
Sofa.
She is gonna turn into a black bear again and try to attack. That's gonna hit twice. She does 10 damage to the elephant. That is Z.
All right. Z's not happy about his little brother getting smacked by an elephant. Not happy about that at all.
So Z, unfortunately, it has been long enough to where your rage is not still active. So you will need to rage again if you would like to have your stuff back.
Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and rage again. Obviously.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is we're going to do Face of the Demogorgon again, and we're going to do Tail of the Demogorgon this time as well. Let's see. I don't know where I was positioned, so would I be able to have enough movement to run and grab my hammer and still get into melee with them all in one turn? Or
Yes. Yeah, you can go grab your hammer.
all right, so I'm gonna go grab my hammer then, and I'm just gonna start smacking them. So that's 19 to hit and a 12 to hit.
12 hits.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. That's 8 damage for the first hit. 9 damage for the second hit.
Making progress. Ellis, that is now you.
He just doesn't really know exactly what to do, but he just saw his little brother get stomped by an elephant. So
Yeah.
he just
Gored and then stomped.
yeah. So he takes out his potion of superior healing. And I'm just gonna run over and open his mouth and pour the potion into his mouth.
Okay. So that'll be your action.
Yeah.
Will you come to literally the elephant's foot still like on you? But you are now conscious. Ellis, why don't you roll up superior healing?
21 plus 8, 29. So I think he's at full health.
Yeah, sweet. So you're just back up to full, feeling good. Feeling good. Well, feeling as good as
The dude that got stabbed
as
and
Will
then
ever
crushed.
does.
Golly, his HP stats suck so bad. We're level
Yeah.
5s.
we really gotta work on that. We gotta
I'm a
so good.
sorcerer and I have 34. What the frick?
Okay.
Con.
Any bonus actions, Ellis?
Okay, that is, I knew I was going to do that with my action. I don't think I have anything for bonus action stuff. So I'm just going to he's just going to smack the leg of the elephant. Get off, get off, get off, get off, get off. And just try and just smack it as much as he can.
I dig it. Okay. That takes us to the top of the order, which is Will.
So Will kind of comes to, he with a gasp, and his like cloak hums back on with its like magic kind of coursing over him. I think the foot is still kind of on me, So, not standing up, he's just gonna kind of pick up his sword and then put it in both hands and just try and shove it upward into like the gut of the elephant for a sneak attack. Okay, the dice answered me. It was higher than a 6. It was an 8. So an 8 plus 7 is 15.
Yep, that'll do it.
Man, I am rolling so bad. That is 16 damage, which is 2 higher than what I did without sneak attack.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Is the foot like still on me?
You're not restrained or anything. You could disengage and get out of there if you wanted. If that's what you're asking.
Well, it's just gonna disengage and then just kind of do a barrel roll through the legs and run out the back of the elephant.
Nice.
And,
I love that.
and
Yeah.
just try and get away, but also not sneak away. Like I'm trying to kind of confuse her.
It is now her turn. And while she is nervous about Z, she is more nervous about Ellis at this point. So she is going to try to attack him. 13 hit you?
A 13 does hit me, but shield.
Okay, cool. Wild Magic Surge.
It's fair. 2.
2. Okay.
Shoo.
So you are down to a D4, and you will now stay at a D4 until it happens. Okay, cool. So she misses, and because she doesn't have the ability to charge and definitely doesn't want to risk the opportunity attack from Z, she's going to just stay where she's at. That's the end of her turn. Black Bear is going to go. She hits, does 5 more damage, chipping away. And Z, that is you.
All right, this is gonna go more than likely poorly, but let's go ahead and do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump up, and I'm basically gonna grab the elephant's ear and swing on it to where I'm in front of the elephant, just basically hanging onto its face. I'm grabbing both ears, and I'm going to do my gazing attack.
Okay, so you're gonna... Okay, cool. So this is an effect that if it fails, and it takes the damage. If it succeeds, it takes no damage. So we'll see. That is a natural 18.
Dadgummit.
I'd silvery barbs if I didn't use shield.
Unfortunately, it had to roll like a 16 or higher, and it did it. So unfortunately, the elephant, I'll say that it's not the elephant, it's the druid underneath that's like, nope, that super high wisdom comes through and is like, I'm resisting
For
this.
sure. Then for my bonus action, I'm gonna try something fun. Because of my tail, I get a tripping attack. So for flavor, what I want to do for this to see if it'll work is, since I'm holding onto the face, is just slide down and fall. And then I'm gonna grab, just with my full body, I'm gonna grab the trunk of the elephant and try and suplex it.
Yes, suplex.
Do you want me to roll an attack, or do you want me to try and roll, since I'm mixing it also? Okay.
It'll still just, the result will still be just prone.
So that's a natural 19 plus 8.
Yeah, that'll do it. There's a save that it has to make.
16 strength, which an elephant almost guaranteed
It
can
does
do.
have pretty good strength.
Yeah.
Natural 1. You trip. You trip. I rolled so many natural 1s today. You managed to trip this elephant by doing a suplex on it.
I think as he's going over, as the elephant's getting suplexed, Ellis just like sticks out his hand and like free willies as it goes by. You know, like he's just like,
yeah.
It's just like this
Love it.
beautiful moment.
And then with the topple attack, Noah, that would be 12 damage as well.
12 damage. Cool. It's looking really, really hurt at this point. Cool. I think that's your turn. Ellis.
I think I want to do something that might just help us in general. I think I want to reduce it. I want to make it smaller so that what Z can do to it is more varied.
Cool. What does it need to roll?
A Constitution saving throw.
Unfortunately, it rolled a 21 Constitution saving throw. And more unfortunately, I do need you to roll a D4 for a
Well,
wild
there
magic
it
surge.
was.
There it is.
Yeah, there's the surge.
As you cast reduce on this elephant, you feel that same thing that you felt last night back in the museum. This magic mixing with the emotion that you're feeling in this moment. It becomes too much. The magic must escape. Roll a D100.
Okay. That's a 16.
You were so focused on making sure that Will survived this moment. I think it takes you back to the moment that you had, that you wish someone would have revived you and no one did. Like, you have like this moment of like, I need to make sure he's still alive. I need to make sure he's still alive. Breathing. He needs to still be breathing. Is he breathing? I hope he's breathing. And suddenly you begin to take deep breaths yourself, and you feel this tingling on your neck as gills appear. And Z and Will and Sofa all grow gills on their neck as you cast water breathing on everyone here. Not super helpful in this moment, but hey, if you guys ever end up underwater, your guys are gonna be set.
Like when Ellis like reaches up to like, he's like, what? And he goes up and like one of his fingers like slides under the gill and starts just like freaking out. And
Yeah.
he's just like, and he's like, I can breathe twice. And his like, and you hear like voice coming out of his neck, out of his gills as they like kind of flap. There's an echo. And he's just starting to full like panic.
Yeah, I love it. I believe that's your turn, unless you have a bonus action or anything.
No, I don't believe in those. I'm a sorcerer.
Okay, Will, we're back up to you. The elephant is prone on the ground still. And you have gills. Don't forget you have gills. It's very important.
Yeah, he has gills. He's very aware of them. He's gonna like run and slide and try and stab the elephant right in the back. That is by far the highest I've rolled to hit this entire time, with a 19. So that's 19 plus 7. That is 25.
Describe what happens as you take out this elephant and dealing the rest of the damage to
The druid.
the druid. Yeah.
He runs back, slides, stabs it kind of between the shoulder blades with the rapier, and just kind of this like cold light just kind of shoots into it and goes through its like whole system. And then as it's like turning back into the druid, he just still on the ground puts his kind of jumps onto her back and like wraps his arms around her, and then pulls out his knife and puts it against like her chest, aimed at her heart, and just says, stop, please stop.
Her eyes are open. You've got the sword at her chest. And it is now her turn, unless you want to do anything else on your turn.
No, but I'm trying to like hold it like against her.
She looks up at you, her eyes glowing green, just sort of permanently, it seems. And she says, "You would like that, wouldn't you?" Her wincing mouth twists into a smile as she casts heal on herself, bringing herself completely back up to full. and then begins to wild shape again, screaming out again. At first, you think she's just turning into another elephant, and then the elephant grows fur as she becomes a mammoth, about twice the size of the elephant before. But then you see something, a flash of silver on the back of the mammoth. And the mammoth, she is so focused on you about bringing you destruction that she almost doesn't notice as a gash opens up on her neck. And Juno, coming out of invisibility, appears on top of the mammoth, has another potion raised up in her hand, and chucks it down directly into the gash.
That's metal.
The glass shatters, this green liquid splashing. It begins to convulse. It like raises up on its hind legs and then freezes as if someone just pressed pause on it. And then slowly but surely, starting at the gash, stone expands over the entire mammoth's body. And in a matter of seconds, you see a stone statue of a mammoth. And Juno is kneeling down next to it, breathing heavy. And you all are out of combat.
I still haven't forgiven you, but you're getting closer.
I thought you said you were gonna leave.
I was, but apparently I'm surrounded by morons.
Who?
She rolls her eyes. She says, basilisk poison. I found it in Dr. Lau's house. I was hoping to save it, but unfortunately, it's only temporary. So, can we please go now?
How long?
24 hours. But here's the thing. If she knows where we are, they all know where we are. They're not going to wait 24 hours for her to come back. I'm sure she was waiting on us.
No, yeah, that's plenty of time. And then Z will like walk off to like where all the like dead bodies are.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll go and just find like some kind of like short sword or dagger or something. And then he'll just place it right on where her skull is and then use his sledgehammer just to knock it in. Just hit after hit.
So yeah, as you just
Z's on bad behavior.
Yeah, I mean, all it will do is break her wild shape. You know, well, honestly, I don't think you know what it'll do. Like, because it'll be like she'll have this thing embedded into her when she comes out of wild shape. So there's a potential, but you just don't know for sure.
We'll see if she'll be able to do a wisdom save after this.
You see Sofa turns and looks at Buck, who is still just like holding Frankie. And she gives Buck this nice hug, like avoiding the dog. And she says, "Love you, Dad." And he says, "Love you too, sweetie. I know this trip means a lot to you, but you need to come back, okay?" And she says, "Of course, Dad. I'll be back." And you all make your way to the coast. Hundreds of boats, from little skimmers to massive cruise ships, line the southern coast of Learia. Lightfall, being the unofficial capital of the world, is an extremely popular destination. And being as Learia sits north of the vast majority of the known world, the southern coast is especially busy. For people interested in blending in, it is a dream. for people who don't exactly know where they are going, it is a nightmare. Nevertheless, knowing you have the circle of the skull at your backs pushes you forward, and you begin to attempt to find yourselves a ride. As you trudge through, you quickly find that almost all voyages heading the direction you are going are full. Due to the nature of the tide surrounding Learia, almost all voyages leave in the evening, and being as the sun is already so low in the sky, it is simply too last minute to score a ticket. But just when you feel as hope is lost, and you will have to stay in Learia another night, you see it. Compared to many of the others you have seen today, it is unimpressive. It is a medium-sized ship with a crew of 50 or less, but it looks clean, well taken care of, and lovingly scripted in gold across the starboard side of this frigate, you can read its title, The Cat's Grace. You look down at Beetle and can't help but smile at the serendipity. You know the direction it is going based off of where the boat is docked, but the man selling tickets at the ramp could arguably give that away on its own, being as elementals are native to the Pink Sea. Standing at 7 feet tall and comprised from head to toe of well-compacted tennis ball-sized rocks, he is very clearly an earth elemental. He wears a long black trench coat, harem pants with a black and red pattern, no shirt, and a rusty red leather tricorn hat. And as he sends the last person in his line up the ramp to board the ship, he begins to look around and see if there's anyone else around before heading up himself. What do?
Can we smell?
Smell?
Yeah, what the rock is cooking.
It smells good.
Dang, dude.
No, it smells very fishy,
Ah, man. That's less good.
but not in like a tricky way, and like a
In a literal
Fish way. In a literal way,
because
yeah.
the ocean.
Yeah.
All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
In the ocean.
I'm like, don't worry, I got this. And I walk over and I just say, I go, well, hello, good sir. How are you this fine evening?
Evening. You may call me Bo.
Bo?
What can I do for you?
We're just seeking safe passage. We were just gonna buy a ticket from you, if that's okay.
The price is 350 gold pieces each.
I'm gonna look back at everybody. I'm gonna go, yeah, we've got that, and I'm gonna hand over the money.
Very well.
Ellis definitely gives it to him in a bag. You know, it's in a bag. It looks like the Animal Crossing cash bag. Like it has a big star on it and everything.
he takes that in his hand. You can just tell he just can kind of, like, being an earth elemental, just knows the weight of metal so well. He can just count out metal, literally, like count out how much gold is worth just by like weighing it in his hands. And he says,
Good.
and he puts it away, says,
Welcome aboard.
and motions for you to go up the ramp. But before you do, I need Z and Will to each roll a luck check. And Will, you are going to roll this at disadvantage.
16.
2 8s.
Whoa, that is weird. That's weird, man. So, if you remember, Will and Z had a little wager.
Oh no. I don't want to lose this one. Ellis he's talking to Bo and he goes, has a kobold come by to get on the boat? Have you seen?
Z made a bet to Will that Fodder would not make it to the boat. And Will took him up on that bet. I made him roll with disadvantage because it was pretty unlikely that he would make it, be it as you guys didn't even tell him what boat to go on or anything.
I'm
That being
devastated.
said, Ellis, as you say that to Bo ponders, begins to shake his head, but then sees something behind you and points.
I turn around.
You see Fodder in the middle of the crowd.
What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him?
He's not wearing his bowler hat. But you do see him.
I look at him and I want to send him a message.
Yeah,
Using
what's the
a
message?
cantrip. Well, hurry up, bud. Get on the boat.
You see that this kobold just like jumps, looks over, sees you, and just like runs over and gets down on one knee. You see that Fodder isn't wearing his like vest and bowler hat. He's just wearing cowboy boots. And he says, Coach, it's so good to see you. But I have some really bad news.
What do you mean? What happened?
My grandson, Fodder, he died. He was so excited about becoming your assistant coach. He ate some shrimp, even though he knew that he was allergic. And that did him in. But in his last moments, he told me to come here and deliver this to you. And he holds up a sack of coins.
He never was smart. He was dumb as dirt. As a bag of rocks, but he was brave. How much money did he get me?
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay. It's 14.
You can add 14 copper to your to your collection.
Hey, that adds up, man. That adds up.
And so Fodder is kneeling down and on the one knee, and he says, "But Coach, if you'll have me, I would be honored to fill the role he was going to fill as your assistant coach."
Fodder was my friend. He was just really down on his luck all the time, perpetually, forever.
Don't I know it?
He didn't owe me anything. And you don't either. If you want to come, you can. But you don't have to.
As soon as you say, if you want to come, you can, he just fist bumps and just starts to walk up the dock. And Bo turns and looks at you and he says,
He must pay.
I look at him, I'm like, Fodder, do you have money to pay?
and he like takes off his cowboy boots and like looks inside him and dumps them out and just shrugs.
New Fodder, he goes, Juno, do you have any cash on you?
I think we have enough.
We have enough for
Yeah.
350?
Well, the money that I looted that you put in the bag of holding was 880.
Oh shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just go up and I'll pay that out of what I stole from Will, and then I'll just be like, all right. But it feels weird to call you Fodder.
It's been my name for 18 years.
He goes, okay. I'll just
Did you say father was 46?
Yes, my grandson is 46.
and you're 18?
Yeah.
So, okay, wait. So when you were born, was your grandson alive?
Are we gonna go or?
I'm just curious. I just need to know.
I'm hungry. You guys hungry?
No, don't avoid the question, fodder. What?
All right, I'll see you on the ship. And he starts heading up the heading up the boat ramp.
Ellis turns around to his brothers. I can't help but feel partially responsible for original fodder's death. I think I need to go like meditate for a while and really like unpack my role in that.
Will, does this mean I technically win or I technically lose?
I give you 10 gold worth of or actually
You can just hold on to it.
So you all head up the ramp and arrive at the on the deck of the Cat's Grace. And as you board, you cannot help but notice just how immediately different the vibe is from anything you have ever experienced. Each of you have met folks from the South, but none of you have ever seen so many in one place. Dragonborn, kobolds, all types of genasi, and all types of elementals make up the vast majority of the crew. But you also notice that there are many northerners, animal folk, and humans on the crew as well. It is an eclectic group, to be sure, but there's something about it that just makes those who have lived their lives on the outside feel like they are home. Everyone is welcome here. You watch as Bo makes his way to the upper part of the deck where the ship's wheel is and positions himself beside it. He waits for a moment and then takes one step to the left. You see a flash of movement in the rigging above you and look up just in time to witness a humanoid flipping through the air to land exactly where Bo was just standing. Dressed in a blue coat
the rock first
with gold buttons, tan pants, and thigh-high black leather boots, you see a tabaxi woman.
Ellis stands up straight.
So does Will.
And immediately infer that this is the captain of this ship. Do you guys want to explain to the listeners why you're having this reaction?
No.
If they don't understand, that's their fault.
Okay, we're
They
just
don't
gonna go
have
with it.
taste if they don't understand.
Okay, you see, we'll talk about it on the breakdown. You see her golden fur flowing in the wind and her hands gripped tightly behind her back. Captain Adeline speaks to Bo without turning her body to face him. Mr. Bo, I have checked this miserable ship from stem to stern, and as usual, it's spot on. Can you get nothing wrong?
You flatter me, Captain.
Well, my friend, are we ready to sail this creaky tub?
My pleasure, Captain. All hands to stations.
As Bo continues yelling out orders, the crew of the Cat's Grace begins doing their work like a well-oiled machine. You watch as the anchor is raised and the sails unfurl one by one. And there's something that just makes it all feel real when you hear Bo yell out,
Next stop, Texas.
we see the scene we left on. but everything is frozen in time. We see Z, Ellis, and Will standing on the deck of the Cat's Grace, next to Fodder, Juno, and Sofa. We then hear a voice. So far, so good. The camera pulls away from the brothers and jerks across the ship. It begins scanning the remaining people on board, looking for something. It finally rests on a familiar face. Wheeler Aldrin. We see Ellis's nemesis aboard this ship, along with his penguin companion, Puka. Also standing on the deck, he seems to have spotted the brothers before they've spotted him, and his face is covered in concern. And then the voice speaks again. Good. Good. The camera zooms away from him and continues scanning the crowd until it rests on someone we haven't met yet. Clearly a member of the crew, she is an air genasi with a high ponytail and light blue robes with no sleeves. She is currently effortlessly hanging upside down to fix a section of the rigging. The voice says, "Yes. This is almost it." The camera jerks away again, quickly scans the rest of the people on deck, and then travels below the deck. We glide past the cook and cabin boy, past a bright red crab man with yellow eyes, and land in the passengers' quarters. Come on, come on. The camera races to a man tucked away in the corner of the room, a black robe covering the majority of his body, but his long, purple dragonborn nose gives him away. Jackson Longwind. Yes, come on, just one more. The camera whips around to the other side of the room, where we find one last person trying and failing to keep a low profile. His white hair recently combed, his orange bow tie on point. We see Dr. Lau on his hands and knees, looking for his glasses. The camera freezes on the artificer, and then another camera takes over. We see a room that has only 3 real notable features. The first is a massive desk that is littered with various scrolls, potions, and magical artifacts. The second covers the wall this desk is set up against. Mirrors, 20 of them at least, of various sizes and styles, cover the wall. But while they are still somewhat reflective, they are acting more like what we would consider to be TV screens. Each mirror contains a different scene. One shows Will and Miss Hennessy in Blue Tower Museum. Another shows Ellis and Rhea in Glittering Bone Apartments. Another still shows Z and Kat in the Haven. But the biggest mirror in the center of the wall shows Dr. Lau struggling to pick up his glasses. The third, and arguably most notable feature about this room, allows us to match a voice with a face. We see a hulking figure, at least 15 feet tall. It wears a black robe that covers most of its body, but we can see its hands, each finger ending in a claw, resting on the desk. And we can see its head, 2 massive horns curling down, almost entirely encircling its face. Its skin is black, but is cracked like cobblestone, revealing an orange glow underneath. We see a Balrog, and it says, "They're all here. We did it."